protecting Main Street from Wall Street. It's Chris Hoffman with Money Unleashed.
How much money do you put into your checking account from work on a month-to-month basis? It has a high probability that with your investable assets, we can replace that paycheck.
It's time to put you back in control of your money.
You've worked for 35 years. It's time for you to not stress. It's time for you to enjoy and live the retirement you want to live.
It's Money Unleashed with Chris Hoffman.
This is Money Unleashed with Chris Hoffman at the Hoffman Financial Group, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. You can hear us on 95.5 WSB every Sunday. Chris, I know that it's hard enough to accumulate the savings that we need for retirement. Everybody is working towards that goal, but we don't want to make that job any harder by leaving some of those savings behind. Orphan 401ks, a term to describe those workplace accounts that we may have forgotten about. And what's incredible about this trend, based on some research, is studies estimate there's $1.65 trillion sitting in abandoned accounts, which is a serious chunk of change. So let me ask you, how can we make sure that we aren't leaving money on the table with these old 401ks? And then what can we do with them?
Yeah, so it's a lack of education, I believe, among the consumer and the 401k companies. They should encourage any employee that separates from their company, they should encourage you to research your new 401k, which is an opportunity to move it potentially to that new 401k. Or, better yet, you have the ability to roll it into an IRA. So it's a rollover of a 401k to an IRA, and that opens up a lot more investment solutions to you. So that's, from my perspective, and we have to analyze your current 401k of your employer to make sure that is not so robust that that would be a better option for you. But we can do that assessment. We can look at your previous 401k and the options within that. We can assess your current 401k and the options in that. And then we can talk about potentially moving the money to a simple rollover IRA. Why would you not want to leave it with the previous employer? Well, it might be out of sight, out of mind. And that's what I find pretty often is that people are like, oh yeah, I've got this 401k over here. It's just been sitting here for the last 2 years or 3 years. Never rebalanced, never actively managed, and we're not paying attention to it. It's another flaw on Wall Street, folks. So Wall Street wants to get paid for everything they do. And if that sounds surprising, it shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
Obviously, they want to be paid. But if they want to do what's right for their clients, you're going to have to manage things that you don't get paid directly on. And that's what drives me nuts with this Wall Street model. They're like, well, that's your 401k. I don't get paid on it. I don't want anything to do with it. Well, how are you going to prepare a full financial plan? How are you going to manage a distribution plan when they retire if you're not engaged in every dollar? And that includes cash. So the big missing components are 401ks and the cash that everybody slips under the mattress and never wants to talk to their advisor about because they know that the advisor is going to say, I want to manage it. Let me tell you a distinct difference between the way we manage financial assets for our clients versus what I believe other firms do. You bring us cash, we'll bring you the solution. 9 times out of 10, I would say, and that's anecdotal. Don't know if that's an accurate number, but I'm pretty sure it's that high.
A vast majority.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, a vast majority. We manage the cash separately and do not charge a fee on it. Or we will lower our fee if we can only make 4.5%, 5.5% on it to something reasonable. Unfortunately, the individual investor is caught in this scenario of, I don't want to give them my cash because I'm going to use it over the next 3 months, 6 months, what have you. Or I may use it over the next 3 months, and I don't want them to invest it and charge me a fee. That shouldn't be a concern if you've got a deep and complete relationship with your financial advisor. They should be managing that cash for you, not charging you a fee. Same thing with your 401k. We manage all the 401k plans that our clients want us to manage, whether we get paid on them or not. 401ks are often forgotten. Some of you have 2 of them. Some of you have 3 of them. Hopefully you don't have 4 or 5 or 6 of them. But let's at least meet and talk about Is there a way, and is it in your best interest to consolidate your 401ks or diversify and move some of them to IRAs? It's a big topic. It's extremely important, so that way you can keep your eyeballs on it and actively manage your portfolio.
Now, we can give you that portfolio x-ray, really size these things up for you. But my takeaway from all of this, Chris, whether it be those orphan 401ks or the cash component that you mentioned, is you don't want to have things on the sidelines not doing what they could do for you.
That's right. Idle money does no good. And you don't want to sit on high levels of cash, especially going into this Fed rate decision in September, because you may wake up and find out that your money market got slashed by 0.5% or worse, or your CDs have now come down substantially. So if you've taken advantage of cash, if you've taken advantage of CDs, if you've taken advantage of Treasury bills, you at least need to know what some potentially better options are for you. So call us at 404-341-6767 or go online to unleashyourmoney.com. Click on the Portfolio X-ray. We'll analyze cash. We'll analyze previous 401k plans. We'll analyze anything and everything that you have in your financial life. All of that needs to be glued together for you to be able to build the proper financial plan going into retirement and then through retirement.
And to build that plan, you got to be able to read the landscape, and that landscape can certainly change. If you need some help getting organized, making sure you haven't overlooked things like this, Hoffman Financial Group can help you with that. It's not just about reclaiming old accounts. It's about developing strategies to help you grow and protect your money along the way as well. Chris and his team can show you how with those strategies and solutions designed specifically for you. 404-341-6767 is the number, 404-341-6767, or sign up at unleashyourmoney.com. And Chris, while the 401k has become a preferred saving method for a lot of businesses to employees, it's not the only way to save. In addition to saving, it's also important to plan for different factors that could affect that money in the long run. And we're all feeling the effects of inflation right now. So what happens if it spikes during retirement? What if it happens several times over the course of that 20 or 30-year period? Chris, how do you help your clients factor inflation into their retirement and financial plans?
Yeah, so we have in our financial planning tool an inflation number. We can use historical averages across the country, or we can manually populate it to show you the difference between a 2% inflation rate or a 3% inflation rate. You know, years ago, I remember doing a full financial plan for an investor, and we tweaked it by 1%. So we raised the inflation level by 1%. Over a 30-year period of time, in her $3 million portfolio, it stole $1 million in growth.
That's gracious.
I mean, that's an astronomically high number.
Yeah.
So who wants that? Or who wants to not be prepared for that reality if inflation goes from 2 to 3 or 3 to 4? I would say equally important is tax changes. We need to start working diligently on reducing the government's ability to dictate to us how much of our hard-earned money they're going to reclaim. Yeah. And I hate to say it's a Hatfield-McCoy thing, but they're coming after us. So we've got to defend ourselves. Mm-hmm. And a solid financial plan, I believe, is your best defense. You've got to include tax strategies in there. This isn't an exact number, but I believe the highest level of federal tax ever in the United States topped out at 70%.
Goodness.
So let me say a prayer real quick that never happens again in the U.S. But if it goes from current income tax brackets and gets bumped by 10%, would that hurt? Well, 10% on $1 million bucks. It's a heck of a lot of money. Last time I calculated, it was $100,000. Who wants to give $100,000 to the government? And if we don't think that taxes could go up by 10%, I think we're kidding ourselves. Now, yes, we're hoping that the billionaires pay their part. We've got some definitely wealth gap problems in the U.S., so we need to strengthen the middle class, the working class, and gear them up. And, you know, the billionaires with all their teams of lawyers probably got to tighten up some of the tax rules. But for our clients, we are dedicated to protecting that money, making sure you're not overly taxed, and that involves putting together a rock-solid full financial plan and managing to that plan every year, over year, to report our scorecard out, talk about any changes to inflation or tax rates, and you have to get ahead of it. We have to predict that inflation will spike over a next 30-year period. They can't keep it down forever. And we have to assume that there's going to be an increase in income tax. So where do we look? We look at more favorable tax strategies. Capital gains are one. Tax-free income is another one, or tax-free growth. So it really involves sitting down and developing a relationship with one of our fiduciary advisors and having them walk you through this path. The first step of that path is let us do a portfolio x-ray on your financial world. Once we've got that information to you, then you can say, okay, this has been valuable. I want to see you put together a full financial plan for me to review. All of that, folks, is completely free. You will never pay to meet with Hoffman Financial Group or one of our fiduciary advisors. So until you're a client, it's pro bono. Let us do the work for you. There's no reason to question or wonder how your portfolio is going to act or react to the changes we're going to see in the economy, potentially in tax rates and inflation rates and interest rates. There's a lot of moving parts. Let us worry about that. Let us just map it out for you and give it to you in writing.
Now, you mentioned earlier in the show the importance of having that annual financial physical. Well, second opinions, if you've got something big going on here, even if you're working with an advisor right now and you just want to know, okay, well, a lot of this stuff sounds like things I haven't discussed before. Maybe I should pick up that phone and give Hoffman Financial Group the opportunity to show us some of those things. That's completely complimentary.
Absolutely. And I'm welcoming the first, well, probably not the first ever, but I'm welcoming the first person, maybe in the last 10 years, to come into our office and show me they've got a full financial plan. I never see it. Our advisors never.
Next time will be the first time.
I mean, I guess our clients are the only ones that would do it, but hopefully they're not going to any other advisory team.
Right.
But if you have that financial plan and your financial advisor is living to it and beating it, exceeding expectations, you can put your head on the pillow at night and know you're in good shape. And we take it a step further with our quarterly meetings. So that way we give you bite-sized pieces of accountability where we will look you in the eye, show you the results against your financial plan, which involves taxes, income, protection strategies, and hitting our growth targets. There's a lot in there that we'll boil down, give it to you simply. If you call us at 404-341-6767 or go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on the Portfolio X-ray button, and we can begin this process. We will take the hours to do it. You do not have to attend and hang over our shoulder to prepare all the reports, and we'll present them to you for free.
We'll do that for you today. Give us that call, set up the time to get this ball rolling. Unleashyourmoney.com is a great place to do it. Or 404-341-6767 is the number, 404-341-6767. Chris Hoffman is an investment advisor representative of Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc., an SEC-registered investment advisor. Registered investment advisors and investment advisor representatives act as fiduciaries for all of our investment management clients. We have an obligation to act in the best interest of our clients and to make full disclosures of any conflicts of interest, if any exist. Please refer to our firm brochure, the ADV2A, page 4, for additional information. The Hoffman Financial Group, Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc., and WSB Radio are not affiliated. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. This information should not be considered tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a professional specializing in the field of tax, legal, accounting, or investments regarding the applicability of this information for their situation. Any client experiences discussed during the show are unique to that client. They are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Any comments regarding safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims-paying ability of the issuing company and are not offered by Brookstone. Hoffman Financial Group is not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Investments will fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Insurance licensed in Georgia, number 163546.